The idea behind the Aspen Security Forum was the notion that building on the success of the Aspen Ideas Festival, which brings together some of the world's leading figures in a variety of fields, to take that model and apply it really intensively to the discrete area of national security and foreign policy. And so the idea really is to get the topmost incumbent and former government officials from not just the Department of Homeland Security, but really all the agencies that are relevant to Homeland Security.
We're never done. The work we're involved in is always changing. The threats are always evolving. The challenges are never ending.
I'm increasingly concerned about the synergy among terrorist groups in that region and their expanding desire and planning to try to kill as many Americans as they possibly can, and not just Americans.
But it looks like a horrible situation that's developing in Iraq right now. I'm very worried about it. What about you?
Well, I mean, we're certainly concerned about Al-Qaeda in Iraq coming back.
You've got, you've got a Russian government that has made the conscious decision to use its military force inside of another sovereign nation to achieve its objectives. First time, I think, probably since 1939 or so that's been the case.
What is happening in Syria and what Syria and the extremists there represent is potentially very troublesome for us.
The first three things I asked my briefers about when I woke every morning were Iran, Iran, and Iran.
If you said to me, what are the two high consequence terrorist or homeland security things I would most worry about? Maybe lower probability than Mumbai style attack, but really high consequence. I'd say biological and cyber.
Is security and liberty are not a zero-sum game. It's not that you get more of one and less of the other.
How do we do that? That's part of the debate. How do we protect you and your civil liberties and privacy and still get the terrorists?
And perhaps the most important thing that we can do is to break open this conversation, to have forums like this one where we thrash out the issues openly, where we know the facts, where we have a conscious and very important conversation with the American people about the country we want to live in.
The dialogue has nothing to do with party affiliation. It has everything to do with the safety of our country.
Particularly if you live inside our beltway, which many of the participants do, you really have to get out of that hot box in order to get to an altitude, figuratively and literally, where you can actually think about problems in a kind of detached way.
You just can't get this anywhere else. Certainly in this period of time, in 3.5 days, you get an education that would take months to get anywhere else.
Those are the kinds of really unique moments that you get in Aspen where people have time to reflect, time to talk, and frankly you get some of the best experts in the world together in a very informal way.
You don't do a lot of these interviews, do you?
No.
Is this the first interview like this you've ever done?
It is the first interview.
How does it feel so far?
Ask me again in an hour.
I keep coming back every year because as people move in and out of government, in and out of private sector, the best people always come back to Aspen.
The people who show up are the A-team. There is no place I know of where you get this quantity of people at this level. Everybody here is at best my peer, and most of them unfortunately are superior to me.
This is summer camp for national security experts.
We know how difficult these problems are. They have to be solved in a nonpartisan way. They have to be solved by people getting together and saying, how can we fix these problems? That's what the Aspen Security Forum has been doing. That's what it'll be doing, I hope, in the future, and we at the Aspen Institute are really proud to be a part of it.